When the war resumed, a deep feeling consumed me. I didn't want to write anymore. What's the point? We are being killed, starved, and the world simply doesn't care. We write, we scream, we document, but who reads? Who cares? Every day we lose a part of ourselves, not just a home, a friend, a meal, or a memory. We lose our belief that this world may care, or that life may one day return to what it was.
Welcome to a new episode of Boontjes Stoppen. My name is Kelvin van Laaren, I'm from the Netherlands and I'm sitting here today with Rita Baroud. She's a journalist from Gaza, Palestine. Is 22 years old, about 1 year younger than me, and wrote for the Dutch NRC, Italian La Repubblica and the new Humanitarian. She was able to leave Gaza at the end of April this year and has been in Amsterdam for about a month. I want to talk with her about her experience, before, during and after the genocide she survived. We all think we know violence, but do we really know what happens? This conversation has been recorded on Monday, the 6th of October, one day after the huge Red Line demonstration in Amsterdam, where Rita also had a speech. No, I'm fine, thank you.
You sent me a message, so I saw it was ridiculous.
The CEO is amazing.
That's good. You like it?
I like it very much.
Come here and pay rent.
Are you happy yourself with how it went?
Oh, when I go out for the stage, I saw like 300,000 people in front of me. I felt like, oh my god, it's a lot, it's a huge.
Yeah, I heard you say it like, wow, I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah, at the beginning, I mean, the largest number I did speech in front of them was like 400, and now you are talking about like 300,000.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a little. It's nothing. It's just like 100,000.
Yeah, exactly. Rita, thank you for sitting with me.
You're so welcome.
First off, I just wanted to check with you. Yesterday there was a huge demonstration, the Red Line demonstration. You had a speech there. You told me before that you felt a bit of pressure, and like before I saw that you also...
Okay, I'm a little bit nervous, but it's okay.
How did it go?
Well, that was my first biggest experience, because I just told you that the largest number that I did speech before, it was like 400, and now it was like yesterday it was like almost 300,000 people in front of you, and you are making speech for them. And I was on the stage, I saw this amount of people, and I felt like, okay, I'm just focused on my speech. But I told them like, hey, I feel a little bit nervous, but it's okay. And I still can't imagine that I did it, to be honest. Yeah.
Most people in the Netherlands still talk about Gaza with October 7th as a starting point, but as I think this is unfair, I want to start off with your life before the genocide. Have you lived in Gaza all your life?
Yeah, I left Gaza before many times. I went for Jordan, Cairo and West Bank, but I don't consider it like it's a real lift, because I was never been in Europe, and this is my first time in Europe.
Right, and you went to those places as like a holiday or something, or work related, or?
No, it was like for holidays and visiting for my mother's family, because she's from West Bank. So it was so hard for us to go direct from Erez checkpoint to West Bank. So we had to go from Cairo to Jordan, and Jordan to West Bank, just to visit my mother's family.
How long did it take to do that trip?
Like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you stay in Cairo one day, and then the next day you move to Jordan, and the third day you go to West Bank. And sometimes they refuse that you can go to West Bank because you are Palestinian, you are from Gaza. But otherwise, my resident also from West Bank, so it was also complicated because I was born in Gaza.
Yeah. Was this the only route you could take to go to the West Bank?
Yeah. But it was also another round, like you just can go to West Bank direct by Ares, but it wasn't allowed for anyone. And we tried many times, but they refused our requests.
What's your earliest memory that you have, just in general? Do you have one? Like when you were still like I don't know, tiny Rita.
Tiny Rita, I was I just remember that I was the coolest child.
Yeah, were you? Why were you the coolest child?
Because if I show you now my picture when I was young, you will say like, it's insane that you're only just 2 years.
You had so much swag back then. Yeah.
The only thing that I remember that I used to cycle all the time, and it was hobby for me also. And yeah.
Do you remember what you liked about cycling?
That you feel free when you are cycling, because you feel like, okay, you have to be clever enough to just survive.
Yeah.
And you have just to be clever enough to not have accident.
Yeah, exactly. And did you have like a favorite place when you were cycling that you like always visit?
The sea? Yeah.
Why the sea?
Everyone is asking me why you like the sea that much, but the sea for me is like freedom, because every time you go to the sea, you have this kind of thoughts, and when you look at the sea, you feel like the sea is so big, so huge in front of you, and you're just tiny person in front of the sea. So I feel like, yeah, like
you feel maybe like your, I don't know, your troubles at that moment are like nothing
small
compared to
the sea. Yeah. And everything can be solved. And okay, like at the first moment when you have trouble, you feel like, oh, it's the end of the world, you made mistake, blah blah blah, and then you realize that by time everything can be just goes so well. Yeah.
You just said that everyone asks you why you like the sea. Are you like known as the girl who likes the sea then?
Yeah, everyone knows me, like they know how much I like the sea.
How often did you went?
It was like every day.
Yeah, really.
And some days like I was going to the sea like 3 times per day, just to clear my mind.
But every day. So did you have like so much you were thinking about, and you just needed the exposure of the sea?
Yeah, and it's not just about thinking. It's also about like, it's just about the freedom, when the feel when you feel it when you go to the sea. I always felt like I can breathe again. That's it.
Yeah. How did you fill your time before? Could you maybe like take me with you on like a average normal day, like a few years ago, for example? Like okay, so you wake up. What time do you wake up?
It depends about what time I was going to the bed. But in general, I was staying up all night, and when I want to sleep or something like this, I was waking up at like 11 or 10, and yeah.
And why were you staying up all night?
Because I was this kind of person who want just to organize everything and plan for the future and blah blah blah, but then you realize that you just have to live your life without planning or without organizing. Maybe I have this new vision of the life after the genocide. But before, no, I was just organizing for everything. But now I don't care about anything, to be honest. For me, the first thing that I was doing when I wake up, I was asking myself why I'm still alive. Like, khalas. Like, khalas. Like, what do I want to do in my life? And
did you always have that?
yeah. I was always like, khalas. It's enough. I don't want to live anymore. Because that time I was depressed. Okay, I'm still depressed, but yeah. But that time I was like, I can't do what I want to do in Gaza. Gaza is too small for my dreams. And yeah, I was studying also something that I don't like.
What were you studying?
French language.
Why the French language?
Like, I don't know. Don't ask me. It was a wrong decision in a wrong time. But now I don't want to do anything.
Was it your own decision, or was it kind of like expected of you?
No, my father was telling me, maybe you have just to do the French language and go to Paris and have your master degree and then blah, blah, blah. And then I realized that I don't want this. And you know, I was disappointed also because it was at the beginning of COVID. So at the first 2 years, it was COVID. And then the other second years was like, okay, the genocide. Yeah. So I'm so close to graduate now. And everyone is like asking me, okay, you graduated from French language. Can you speak French? No, I can't speak French. Sorry. My experience was so different. But yeah.
If you could choose again and like only care about what you want and not what anybody else wants, what would you choose now?
Well, I also said like, okay, I want to become a businesswoman.
You did just tell me that, yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm not thinking about it, to be honest. And then I realized that you can do many things because you have almost 90 or 80 years of your life. So why should I just choose something to do for the rest of my life? No. I want to try everything. I want to experience everything. You know, and I wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
And my mother told me, no way, you are not going to be a lawyer.
Why did you want to be a lawyer? What about being a lawyer did you find interesting or did you like?
Well, I always believe in humanity. So I wanted to be a lawyer for refugee or for organizations and this stuff. And I thought that when you want to become a lawyer, you can just help a lot of people. And then I grew up, I realized that you can help a lot of people without being anything. Just be human, be yourself, and that's it. There's many ways to help others.
Did you spend a lot of time on your day where you wake up at 11 or something studying?
To be honest, I am a night person, so I like to do my stuff in
also
the night.
Studying?
Yeah, the studying especially. Like, I have the energy in the night. I can't do my stuff, or especially this stuff, in the morning.
So what did you do during the day?
Going out.
To the sea?
Maybe, yeah. I was walking a lot. Making some shopping. First, you have to know that Gaza City is like this. Like this. And, this. And
very small for people who are not watching.
Very small, like the first street maybe was like 10 minutes. And if you want to move from Gaza to Deir al-Balah, for example, in a normal day you just take like 15 minutes or 17 minutes, yeah, that's it. I mean, you can go from north to the south in just like 30 minutes. It was crazy.
Did you like the city?
Of course, I liked the city. I mean, it it wasn't just like that modern. But what I like in my city is my people, that's it. I always said like being in a place is not necessary that it's your home, because it's all about the people you like, and that's it. That time I was struggling with many things. So for me, leaving Gaza was the only option for me before the war and before this genocide. During the genocide, I realized how much I'm loyal for this city.
As someone like me and many people who are watching or listening, can you tell me about the people? What you like them obviously a lot. What did you like about them?
For people in Gaza, what I like about them that they are so creative, that they can handle everything, and I was always impressed by their education, their hobbies, and people in Gaza are always trying to find a way just to live, you know? And I'm not telling you this in a resilient way, of course, but we are talking about before this genocide. People in Gaza are so amazing. Like, they are so creative, they are so clever, they are so genius. And you know, listening also to stories in Gaza about people, like it was my favorite part. Like when you listen, for example, about someone like who was struggling with his education, and then he got a scholarship, for example, in UK or in Europe. And for example, when I was hearing that someone having a PhD, and for example, he was the first Gazan or first Palestinian person in this college to get this degree, you know, it was just like, I really love my people. Like, okay, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
You just told me that if you wanted to visit family in the West Bank, it was so hard to get there. And that obviously is because of the occupation. Yeah. In what other ways did the occupation affect your daily life?
Everything. Like everything. It's not just about occupation. It's about also, you don't have many chances in Gaza because of the occupation. When you have some problems, it's because of occupation. When you want to go out, you have just to do all of this just because of occupation. So for me, it's not about daily life. It's about the whole life. Like, for example, even if you want to go out of Gaza because of, like, you want to go out of Gaza and you want to go Egypt, there's a lot of people that they have never ever go or went out of Gaza or traveled out of Gaza. Can you imagine? What makes it different and funny, like here in Europe, you can just go, wake up, and in the morning go to Paris to have your breakfast, and for the lunch maybe you can go to Italy, and you can come back at the same day to Amsterdam. And it was so crazy for me to imagine this. Okay, I knew it when I was in Gaza, but when I experienced it was like, life is so easy out of Gaza. Literally, life is so easy. And you know what, I find it also so funny that people here are complaining about everything, and the first thing that I always say, like, I wish you go to Gaza and experience one day just in Gaza, and you will never ever complain about anything in your life.
Then October 7th happened. How was the first week for you?
Don't ask me about the first week, ask me about when the 7th of October happened.
How was the 7th of October for
Yes, this is a good question because I was so scared about how Israel is going to respond about this. Because people in Gaza also were so shocked. And for me, like my family were so shocked about, like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
And that time I realized that it's not just going to be a normal war like how people expected it's just going to be like days or weeks, but I expected it will be like a long term of genocide.
When did that realization hit you? Like already on the same day or?
Yeah, at the same day. I was so curious about everything. I was so scared and I was shocked because for me, I didn't expect that. Now we are talking about like almost 2 years. And till now, I wake up every day and the only wish that I had that wake up one day and realize that, okay, it was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because when you are thinking about it, it's almost 2 years and you feel like, why? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, people in Gaza are exhausted and you are negotiating about something instead of stopping this genocide. It's crazy.
How did you notice already back then that this wasn't just a normal war?
Well, when they targeted my house at the third day of this genocide,
Yeah.
and they said, for example, oh, we just targeting people in Hamas, but we are civilians. And they targeted my house at the third day of this genocide. And they, of course, targeted a lot of people. That time, I realized that this is a genocide against all the Palestinians people. And after, like, they asked, like, after Israel asked us to move from north to the south, I realized that, okay, here we go. Because it's going to be genocide against all of humanity. Like asking people to move from north to the south. Like, why?
When, for the people who don't know exactly which day this was,
13th of October.
The 13th. You had to move from the north to the south.
Yeah, it's just like after 1 week.
Yeah. When you lost your house, where did you stay?
That day we were shocked and we went for our neighbor's house. And next morning we moved to my aunt's house. And after 3 days, they asked all the people in north to move to the south. So it was crazy. Every time I remember these details, I feel like how we did it, how we managed. It's unbelievable to believe, to be honest. We were moving from north to the south without anything, without our stuff, because our house is already targeted. And it takes a lot of time because it was so busy. Everyone is moving.
Yeah.
And I was looking at people. I was asking myself, okay, what we are going to do? Where we are going to go? And that time it was... everything was so chaotic. I was hearing people that they are saying like, oh, it's just going to be like 2 weeks, 1 month. But no, that wasn't me.
during a genocide, there are, of course, many ways to help the people around you. You can take care of the wounded. You can try to teach the children who lost their schools, but you became a journalist. When?
They asked me to do this on the 10th of October.
And who is they?
Julia from La Repubblica, from Metropolis in La Repubblica. She texted my father that they want me to be their voice in Gaza. And that time I refused at the beginning because I said, like, I just lost my house. Do you expect me to become a journalist? And I have no experience with journalism. So I said no. Because like I was shocked. And I wasn't able also to think about anything else. And after 3 months, I realized that, okay, maybe I have to do it. So my first question for Google was like how to become, or how to be a good journalist.
And what results did it give you?
Just be honest.
Yeah. After those 3 months, did you do a lot of thinking about, do I want to become a journalist, do I not want, or?
No, to be honest, I was only thinking, or to be honest, I was only thinking about going out of Gaza.
Yeah.
That's it. And not just going out of Gaza. It was so hard that time to خلص, to realize that now you don't have your house. Your house is only rubble. And I was thinking about why. You know when you are trying to find answers for your questions that you know you will never ever have answers for your questions. I was at that position. So I was just thinking, like, why? Do we deserve this? Like, for how long people in Gaza have to sacrifice everything? For how long people in Gaza have to suffer from everything? For how long people in Gaza have to displaced and being killed and living hunger? And like, why? Everyone living their life easily. And people in Gaza are suffering, living genocide. They don't deserve this.
Yeah. You wrote, or I heard that you eventually became a journalist because all the international journalists weren't allowed, and you thought that this was the way so people outside could see what is happening. But did you becoming a journalist also maybe help to like give all the questions you had like a way to out itself?
Well, to be honest, when I choose to become a journalist, I said, like, when I'm going to write for others out of Gaza, I'm going to write behalf of the 2 million people in Gaza, okay? So I'm not just going to write about my opinion.
Yeah.
Because when you're a journalist, you can't just use your opinion. And then I started to write articles. I find out, like, no, we don't need articles. People out of Gaza, they already have many outlets just to read the articles. Maybe I will start my diary. So I started my diary, and even the newspaper La Repubblica saw how much it was affecting on others, especially in Italy, because they realized that people need to know how people in Gaza are feeling. So maybe that was the only thing that I'm focusing about. And I'm telling you, I hate when I call myself a journalist. There's a lot of people in Gaza deserve this chance. There's a lot of people that they are more creative, more than me. They are more educated. They are like more experienced more than me, but I'm just trying, you know. There's a lot of people in Gaza are more professional, and I really respect them.
From experience, when you interview and talk to people for an article, maybe you try to always understand like why people are doing what they're doing, what they are thinking about, all that type of stuff. So you really try to live with a person. But in this case, during a genocide, people are suffering, and suffering. How was that as a journalist trying to interview them? Like, did you absorb it, or how was that?
Well, I really hated it because it was so hard when you are interviewing others, and you know that even if they talked or even if you wrote about it, people out of Gaza, they will not going to care about anything because all the world goes blind, okay? So I was just shutting off my feeling to be able to listen to others, because it was so hard. Because when you are listening to others, you feel like you are making also a psychological way, and you want to understand their feelings. You want them also to feel free while they are talking to you. So it was really hard, especially when you are listening to stories about how mothers are losing or lost their children. You feel like, fuck this world. Like, why should we suffer that much?
Yeah.
And many times I was so close to quit journalism because I was like, oh, journalism is not going to do anything. It's not going to change anything. But yeah.
How did the people around you and the people you interviewed react to a journalist, in this case you? Were they like always open to it, or like how was that?
Well, not always, because there's also a lot of people that they attacked me. They said like bad words, but I always say like I excuse them.
Yeah.
They already have a lot. I respect them. I just have to listen to them. This is the only thing that you can, like, and the least thing that you can do for people. Listen to them. Let them express themselves. And when you are a journalist, you don't have just to take your advantage from others. Like, for example, there is a lot of channels, and there is a lot of outlets that they just need to hear something specific from people, and they ignoring a lot of their opinion just to hear the specific thing. But that wasn't me. Like, if someone said like fuck this world, I would write, yeah, he said fuck this world. Yeah. If someone said like we are tired, of course I'm going to say, yeah, we are tired. There's a lot of channels that they say like, oh, people in Gaza are heroes, people in Gaza can handle it, just keep going, blah blah blah. But no, like, shut the fuck up. People in Gaza are so exhausted, people in Gaza are so tired. You are not there to say that, oh, they can handle it. No, I always say no. Yeah. People in Gaza also are human, by the way, and they can feel.
There, especially in Gaza, there is like an insane risk when you work as a journalist, because Israel has a big track record of attacking, killing, and also journalists, and also trying to make their voice illegitimate. How did it affect the way you worked?
Well, that time it was also I wasn't always going out to interview people, you know? So I used to work from home or the place that I am that time because it was so dangerous, and sometimes I was risking, sometimes I couldn't. But when I was risking, the only thing was in my head like, maybe this is the first time, or maybe this is the last time.
Yeah.
And it was also so scary when you are interviewing people, because you just want to interview them and listen to them, and you are scared to just break down. I still remember that when I interviewed a child. His name is Nadal, and that time I was reporting about hunger, and his father was hopeful that okay, his child will be okay after many days. And after I interviewed Nadal, the child one, he died the next morning. And I was like, okay, why I am doing this? And for who? For people out of Gaza? That they are not doing anything? And that day, and it's not the only case that I had when I was making journalism. There is a lot of people that also, while I was interviewing them, the next 2 hours or the next day, they have been killed. And sometimes I feel like really we just don't deserve this. People are people, civilians are civilians, doctors are doctors. Why Israel is targeting everyone in Gaza? For what? Okay, they are saying because Hamas took the hostages. Okay, I understand this. But they killed more than 67,000 people. And why they are targeting people? If they said, oh, this person is from Hamas. Okay, but you have technology. You can just target the only one that you want. Why you have to kill a lot of people? And you know, when you have a lot of questions and you want president or go to politics just to ask them, okay, but Israel is targeting civilians, and this is a genocide, and this is a genocide against all of humanity, and they know already the answers, but they don't answer you. Like, why? It's crazy, you know? This is just unbelievable.
When I did my research, I came across your old Twitter account, and I noticed that you have been writing about your feelings for a long time now.
Okay.
Why did you start?
I remember that the first account on Twitter was 2019. And that time I was so fucked up and so depressed. So I was just, writing on Twitter about how I feel.
Yeah. Is there any reason you chose for writing instead of like painting, making sculptures, making like anything else? Like there are, like, of course, like many ways to express your feelings. What about writing spoke to you?
First of all, I always say like writing is the only way that you can really express yourself, and I always say depression can make a good writer, okay? But for painting, I wish that I have this talent, to be honest. Yeah. I don't know how to draw, I don't know how to paint, I don't know anything about this, but I can create. I wish that also I had a nice voice just to sing, because I know that I'm horrible with these things, but I mean I can play some stuff like oud and guitar and a little bit piano, but yeah, I've always wanted to be a singer.
Same with talent, I think, and other arts. Like if you go to like a singing coach,
Yeah.
like they can help you like sing in pitch and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
okay.
it's
we will think about it in the future.
Yeah. Hey, in an article you wrote about a shopkeeper in your street at some point during the genocide who had food but refused to sell it. Can you tell me about him?
There is a lot of shopkeeper in Gaza and a lot of black markets in Gaza, okay? And there is a lot of people that they have stuff, but they are not selling it and they are hiding it because, for example, they know and they expect that, okay, maybe if we hide this stuff, we can sell them for more money tomorrow. And that was so selfish of a human being, you know? Like, why should you hide the food from people just to have more money?
I understand that, like, they are being selfish. That's like de facto. They're being selfish. They want to sell it at a profit. But my mind can't wrap around how someone could be selfish in such a situation. Do you have like an idea, or did you maybe even talk to a shopkeeper like this, or for an article maybe, or?
Yeah, I had a conversation with someone, and we all knew that he was like also working for the black markets, and he was hiding products to resell them in a really high prices and expensive prices. And he was like, I was telling him like, you have to help people to sell them food with a good prices and be human. And he was refusing it. He was so rude. Like, okay, even if people are not just suffering from Israel, they are suffering from the people in Gaza. Like, can you imagine that you are living genocide and there is a lot of people that they are only thinking about earning money and much money? I was like, why? Like, for example, the kilo of sugar before the genocide was 3 shekel. Like, you are talking about 60 cents. Okay? Nowadays, the kilo of sugar can be like 10 euro, 12 euro, and sometimes it was like 40 euro. It was like, no, why? Yeah. And it's not just about the price of the kilo of sugar, but even when you want to buy it, you have also to add the 30% of commission to add the cash money.
Commission to the bank or to the shopkeeper, or?
No, for people that also they are working in black markets, like for example someone who have a lot of cash. So for example, you come to me and you ask me that you want, for example, 1,000 euro. I will tell you, okay, I will give them to you in cash, but you have to pay another 40% commissions. And I was like, why? It's just money. And a lot of people now, they are refusing to sell their products by, for example, the applications. Because, you know, here in Europe, no one is using cash. Everyone is paying by their cards or their phones, okay? In Gaza, they refused this. They just need cash. And not any cash. No. The money must be in a good health way. And I was like, yeah, but we are using the same amount of money for almost 2 years. Of course it will be bad. Like the paper.
Yeah.
When you are just using
like
the
scratch.
same, yeah, scratch or something like this for almost 2 years, what do you expect? And sometimes I was laughing about this, and I was like, how these people are thinking, because do they think like we have machines to copy?
Yeah.
To copy like the papers of money, or I don't know, like
Was the High Commission again one because of selfishness, because of selfish people, or was it also harder for them to like, I don't know, something else?
There is no logic to take commissions to giving you cash. The money is money, even if it's card or by phone or by application, or I don't know, but the money is money. The same amount of money, when you take it cash, you can have it on your phone. We are 2025. Why people in Gaza are still using cash? And why they have to pay commissions?
Do you think these people, like the shopkeepers and the people who exchange money, have always been selfish, or do you think the genocide changed people?
The genocide changed? No. Wait. I had this conversation with one of my friend, and she was saying that I feel sad that people turn to a bad version of themselves. So I was like, no, please don't say this. If someone is really bad, like before the genocide, this genocide is like showing the truth of them, you know, like when you want to hide something and somehow you just show the real of you. So I think that the same people that they are using others' needs, they are already bad people, and this genocide, like, it's just like they are just show off the reality of themselves. The human is always human, and the bad is always bad. I do believe in that also, and somehow a lot of people changed during this genocide. But also, you know what, this genocide is really crazy, because it makes you feel like, oh, for example, you can't blame them because they have no choices, okay?
The people in Gaza, you mean?
Yeah. And when you, for example, know someone who's like turning so bad in this genocide, you said, oh, but you can excuse them because, for example, they going through a lot in this genocide. But I mean, everyone went a lot during this genocide, but not everyone turned to a bad people, you know?
So if the genocide showed who people truly are, showing the bad people are bad, but there are also many good people, did the genocide show also more that the good people are good?
Yeah.
In what ways?
Like there's a lot of people or volunteers that they are going, for example, for hospitals just to serve people, to help them. There's a lot of journalists are talking about what's going on in Gaza and they are not getting paid. There's a lot of, like, everyone can serve others in their own way. I can't explain that much, but of course there is a lot of people are still people, and they are still human in Gaza.
I want to ask you the same question I asked at the beginning of this conversation. I asked you kind of what average day looked like before the genocide. I can imagine that there is no average, no normal day during a genocide, but like maybe no normal, but maybe like some days are maybe a bit more you get maybe like a new routine to deal with the genocide. What did those days look like for you?
The only thing that I was doing for these 2 years is just was reporting and writing about what's going on in Gaza. Literally, I was working so hard for this, and it was not just because working, it's also because I was dealing with other stuff, like, okay, you need to charge your phone, you need to charge your device, you need to have a good spot for Wi-Fi, you blah blah blah. So it was like going out, charge your phone, going out to find a good spot.
Here there are so many things that seem so normal to people that they don't even think about it. But like one of the things you wanted to show with your reporting is to illustrate how basic things like water, food, electricity played such a different and big role in your daily life.
In daily life, yes.
If we talk, for example, like the first thing I just mentioned, water, can you take me and us with you?
For example, there were like a lot of organizations, they were serving people with offering them water. It was also another suffering from daily life, you know. But for me, when I was also trying to explain how people are trying to get their water, I can't really explain, because sometimes I feel like I don't understand how we were getting this. Like, I was also thinking about water, especially water, because, you know, Israel destroyed a lot of water places. And sometimes I feel like, how, you know? So I'm from Gaza and I still can't understand. Yeah. For others, like for me, we were knowing how to do it. But for others, when I think about it, I feel crazy.
Yeah. And for example, electricity, you had, of course, to use, well, at least your phone, I think, maybe some other applications to do your work as a journalist.
Yeah, because I was only working from my own, from my phone.
Can you take us with you in like how electricity played like a role in that? Like,
well, there is no electricity, but people are still having like the solar panels.
Yeah.
And just using the solar panels nowadays.
Did you have one yourself?
No, but my neighbors was, but when I was in Rafah, we had.
Okay.
But when we moved another time to Deir al-Balah, we were charging our phones from some batteries or solar panel from our neighbors. And then we got solar panel, but it wasn't working that much, because, you know, most of them that they are targeted and destroyed. And it was crazy.
Yeah. And the last thing that seems from the list of 3 things I was just talking about, food. I think most people here who keep up with news have read about the famine that Israel created. Like, I want to ask how it was, but in a way I think I already know like the answer. Like, it must have fucking been awful in ways I can't even imagine. But like, can you still like talk a bit about it for people who didn't experience something like that, a famine, a created famine?
Talking about famine is maybe the worst thing.
Yeah.
And I wrote about it many times. But when you think about it, like, Israel is using the food as a weapon, and they are cutting off the food, cutting off the humanitarian aid, and they are not allowing for humanitarian aid to enter Gaza, to hunger people and killing them. It feels so crazy. Like, why?
You can't wrap your head around something so bizarre.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And it's fucked up. Like, they know how to kill us slowly. During the genocide, I lost more than 10 kilo of my weight, because even if that time I was able to eat, I couldn't. Because when you think about others that they can't reach food or they can't find anything to eat, you feel like you don't want to eat. And of course I lost weight because of thinking and because of sad and depression. But even now, like, I evacuated, I'm trying to heal myself, but it's so hard. Like, for example, when I have to eat, it feels like you can't.
You were able to escape Gaza because your father received a scholarship in France. But even after everything that happened, at first you did not want to leave.
Yeah. Of course, because I thought that it's a wrong time to evacuate. And I couldn't handle the idea of evacuating, you know? And that time I said, like, there's a lot of people, or many people, that they are deserve this chance more than me. Like, why they don't just evacuate the injured and the wounded people? But it happened.
You were first in Marseille and have now been in Amsterdam for a month. How is it being in Amsterdam?
To be honest, I'm doing well, because there's a lot of people that I know here. There's a lot of friends. So that also helps me in somehow.
Yeah. How do you feel about the fact that our government of the country you're staying in is still supporting Israel and is barely putting in an effort to stop the genocide?
Well, if you are talking about the people and the government, the people here are more supporting for what's going on in Gaza more than the government. But I always say politics is politics and government are government, and they are not going to do anything. I think all the governments all around the world, they are supporting Israel, not the only Dutch government, unfortunately. But I wish that they can change something, because also Netherlands have the power.
In general, how do you feel about the response from Europe to the genocide?
You are talking about the government or the people?
We can discuss both. So let's start with the governments first.
Well, the government, it was expected that they are not going to do anything. The people also wasn't expected. Like yesterday when I saw this amount of people, when I saw how people in Rome are demonstrating for what's going on in Gaza, I feel like, wow. You know?
Yeah.
It's impressive. But I feel sorry, because if people want to change something but their government don't want to do anything, it's in vain.
In the Netherlands, we do have elections soon. Is there anything you want to say to all the Dutch people who can vote?
Maybe they have just to select the right government, and when they want to make their government, they have just to select the people that they are human. And they have the sense of a humanity. Not the only politics people, that they are just thinking about politics and government, but only to make election for people that they have humanity. Because when you go to politician, you feel like you lost the sense of a humanity.
Yeah. If in like a hypothetical or dream scenario, if the occupation, genocide, it's all gone, Palestine is free, what would you do?
From the river to the sea.
Hell yeah. What would you do? Or what would you like to do?
I will go back to Gaza.
Yeah. What would you do in Gaza when you're back?
I don't know. I didn't think about it before.
Yeah.
But I think I will be grateful. Because Gazan people deserve this peace. Gazan people deserve to live their life. Gazan people deserve to have their future, their simple life. And that's it.
What would you do with your life in this scenario?
First I will take my time to believe that, okay, there is no genocide, there is no occupation anymore. And then I feel like I want just to live my life the way that I want.
And what would that look like?
Peaceful life, simple life, and that's it. Like, I don't have a specific thing, to be honest, to talk about, because I still don't know what I want in my life. But the only thing that I'm thinking about now is just keep talking about what's going on in Gaza.
Would peace in Palestine be enough?
No. I always say no. Because how you are going to heal the feeling about people? I mean, the people that they are losing their home, their children, their city in front of their eyes. They also need time. And I always say, like, I don't think that time is enough also to heal. It's like the empty promises when you are saying just words without action.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what we are going to do with words? Words is not going to heal our broken hearts. So, no, peace is not enough.
The reason I ask you this is that there was it was a conversation between I believe like an American journalist and a Palestinian official, and the American journalist, and he asked, why not just talk?
Why won't your organization engage in peace talks with the Israelis?
You don't mean exactly peace talks, you mean capitulation, surrendering.
Why not just talk?
Talk to whom?
Talk to the Israeli leaders.
That's kind of conversation between the sword and the neck, you mean?
Well, if there were no swords and no guns in the room, you could still talk.
No, I had never seen any talk between a colonialist case and a national liberation movement.
But despite this, why not talk?
Talk about what?
Talk about the possibility of not fighting.
Not fighting for what?
Not fighting at all, no matter what for.
Yeah, people usually fight for something and they stop fighting for something. So you can't tell me even why should we speak about what?
Well, stop fighting.
For what? Or talk about stop fighting, why?
Talk to stop fighting, to stop the death and the misery, the destruction, the pain.
The misery and the destruction and the pain and the death of whom?
Of Palestinians, of Israelis, of Arabs.
Of the Palestinian people who are uprooted, thrown in the camps, living in starvation, killed for 20 years, and forbidden to use even the name Palestinians.
They're better that way than dead, though.
Maybe to you, but to us, it's not. To us, to liberate our country, to have dignity, to have respect, to have our mere human rights is something as essential as life itself.
And I think essentially it is about like peace versus freedom. I was just wondering if you have any thoughts on peace versus freedom.
Well, if peace nowadays is going to stop the genocide and to stop the bloodshed that we had in Gaza, go for it. Whatever it takes. People in Gaza are so exhausted. They are so tired. They just need to stop the bloodshed. They need just to breathe again. And that's it.
Yeah. What are your plans for the upcoming time?
I don't know.
No? Maybe like a movie or a book or articles or...
No, I really have many things to do, but I feel I don't have the capacity to do them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not sure what Rita in a month will be doing?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Before we go to the end, and I thank you for being here, is there anything you think you want to say? Or maybe ask me anything.
Well, I have nothing to say, to be honest. And for questions, no, I am so bad with asking questions. But like, all I want to say that I really was impressed yesterday by seeing this amount of people that they are demonstrating for people in Gaza. And all I want to say that save what remains before it's too late.
Yeah.
That's it.
Alright. Rita, thank you for joining me. And to you, the person that is listening, I hope whatever you feel right now, you turn into actions. Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.